Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jess Leal in this incarnation. So today I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna tell you a story, which is my own story. And, well, this story has a happy ending. That's all what I'm going to say. It happened to me like 7 years ago. And it is very important to be clear with this. I'm gonna be clear with this. All the diseases, all the disease we have in our body comes from emotions that are not well managed. Every disease, every illness we have comes from that place, and that's why the healthcare system doesn't function, because they only treat the body, and the body it's not something separated from everything else. That's the biggest mistake of the healthcare system. But I don't actually think it is a mistake. I think it's an intentional way they construct this system just to let people be dependent on pharmaceutical industry. I said it before in my video of talking about anxiety. But this has to do with everything. They don't want us to be cured. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm exposing something that is very private and that was very painful at that time. But I'm gonna tell you this story in my Spanish channel. This story was emotional again. I'm an emotional person, but I think today I can do this in a more calm state. Okay, or in a calmer state. So this story begins when I was with this narcissist. I already told you about this relationship, this toxic relationship I had. I told you that I could separate from him for many years. From in 2013, I become separated, and then I told you that I had the anxiety crisis. But many years later, 3 years later, I had a return with him, and in that return, I got an STD. Days after we stayed together, we stayed. I went to the doctor because of the symptoms, and this doctor said to me that I had a chronic disease. Of course, that broke my world. And I started to in between that day and I think it was in the same week, I did this process so fast. It happened a lot of things in 3 days, 3 or 4 days. But when this doctor said that disease was chronic, of course I freaked down. It was the most horrible notice anyone can give me, or could give me. So I asked for an appointment with my doctor because that day I went to another one because my doctor wasn't wasn't working, you know. So until I meanwhile I waited. I went to this doctor, and this doctor said this to me. And my doctor, it's a big part of the happy ending. I really appreciate the way she treated me. So, well, what happened was that I entered in a WhatsApp group of people who has this disease and other ones. There were a lot of a lot of diseases, really, people experimenting a lot of things. And this passage was very important because I understood. Everybody like shared their stories about how the things happened, and I saw the common pattern that was guilt. Everyone was feeling guilty. So this is not something that happened to promiscuous people, like the society think. This is something that happens when you are not using your sexual energy in a correct way, and maybe because you are suppressing it because you feel guilty about it, and that was the case of a lot of persons, a lot of people, sorry. And maybe it is because you are sharing with incorrect people and you are not taking care about it. That was my case because I had this return with the narcissist, who was the person that made the greatest damage in my life, and I had returned to him just to damage myself. I didn't have self-love, you know. When I did this, I fell. So this was the common pattern, and then I started to that's when I discovered the bio decoding for the first time. I in 2013 I started family constellations and bio decoding, but I didn't know like we could use it this way, you know, because this person at that time used all these tools, and she didn't specify like what was bio decoding or what was constellation families. She did like an individual therapy, and she included all of these things. And at this time I started to look on internet, and I didn't, I don't know, I didn't identify myself with that diagnosis. So so I started to look for that, and I started to impose my hands in my body. Just I had an experience in a travel I took to Peru 1 year before, and so sorry. So I did this like trusting that I would heal, and I imposed my hands and started to think about you know, colors that comes to my mind, and I just believed that I could do that. All these things were happening in between the first doctor and the appointment with my own doctor, the doctor that I was that I met since my teenagehood, since I was a teenager. So so I was desperate. So I was trusting with all my heart that that it was going to work, you know. that I was going to, that I was a person, that I wasn't an ill person. I didn't want to believe that. So I think it was like 3 or 4 days that passed by, and when I had the appointment with my doctor, she said a word that I totally loved. She said, "This is a miracle. This is a miracle. I think you're never going to have this again. Like, you disappeared all the symptoms in few days. It's a miracle." So that's what happened. I didn't have that, never again. And not only that, but also that I repeated the studies a lot of years before, I repeated every year for many years, and I was cured. So that disease wasn't chronic. So the system wanted me to believe that the disease was chronic. I left the group and I told them that story, but there were many that didn't, believe this. And when I told this in my Spanish channel, some people shared the same experience too. So there's no disease that can't be cured. That is a diagnosis that the system is giving us just to believe that, and just to be independent of medication. But it's not real. It's not only for DTS. It's for everything. We have to find the emotion. I'm not talking, of course, about I don't know, if you're born without a part of your body or something like that, because that's different. That's a limitation in the material. But all the diseases, we can cure them, and I think in a future we won't have them anymore. So I think that in a future we won't have this kind of things. This is our opportunities to look up for the emotion. So that's what I did. My hidden emotion was guilt, because I didn't love myself when I share my body and my intimacy with a person that has damaged has damaged me so much. He was a very harmful person, and I didn't love myself when I stayed with him. So my body made me notice this. But that it's not a punishment, and we don't deserve to feel ill, or to feel people that we don't deserve love, or we I don't know. I know how does it feel when you have something like this, and the exclusion you can feel, and the guilt. The guilt is the pattern. So if you are suppressing your sexual energy, or you are sharing without taking care of yourself, your body will make you notice this. So it's very important to to take care about our sexual energy, and I will explain how we can do this in other video, in the next video probably, because this is very important for us. This is important for raise the vibration of the planet. This is important for cure, for healing ourselves. This is very important. So the three things, concluding, the three things I did was believe that I could heal myself with my hands. Sorry about this. For many people call this Reiki. I don't call that the way because I didn't study anything. I'm just doing that. And this is not a power I have and you don't. This is something everyone can do. So I did that, and my doctor said it was a miracle, and I believed her, of course, because I knew that I did it. I looked for the emotion that was hidden because I knew the intuitively. It was my intuition what told me that, and then I didn't identify myself with the diagnosis that the doctor told me. That were the three things I did to heal myself. So I'm sharing this because I think everybody can do this. This is not, I'm not special. This is something that everybody can do. So thank you, everybody. I will leave it here, and I really want that many people discover this as I did, and could believe this, and could I don't know if believe, maybe put this on practice and try it, because I don't know, I could heal myself, and I think I'm not special. I think everybody can do this. So thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.